Okay. All right. So I love this first screen because don't be a secret agent. I feel like I say that every day when I either coach you guys individually or I'm in a training. So I know I'm in the right spot if that's the first slide. So that's great. So if you could kick us off with your intro about you, just so we can get to know you a little bit. And then of course, we're going to dive into how to continue to build an agent network to build referrals. So kick us off if you could. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, thank you for joining. I'm Desiree Maurer. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina with Keller Williams. I've been a full-time solo agent in this market for 11 years now. In the last 3 years, I've been the top solo agent in my market center and in the top 1% of our MLS. In 2021, I closed 51 units at 20 million. In this crazy market, and the majority of it was agent to agent referrals or past client referrals. So I've built my business around this type of system, and I love sharing with other agents on how to do it.
Yeah, I follow you on social media, and how I found you was I always think you're like the blue envelope girl. So you literally take a picture of yourself setting up the referral, which I'm sure you'll get to. But first of all, thank you for your time and 20 million in this market as a solo agent. I don't know if anybody heard that, but that's amazing. You probably don't sleep at all. Like, I don't,
It's been a crazy couple of years for sure.
Yeah. So awesome. Well, so you're going to kind of kick it off. Just, I guess with me, is just let me know when you want me to slide to what we need to do here. So
yeah, so when I'm asked about what I do and when I teach this class within my market center, a lot of it's just basic information. One of the biggest things I can say to anybody, and no matter which brokerage you're with, is one, to not be a
secret agent.
Secret agent. Thank you. Let everybody know that you are a realtor, whether you just started and you're out shopping, wear your name tag. If you're on Facebook or any type of social media platform, make sure that your bio in your personal page says that you're a realtor and how to contact you. I don't know how many times I've tried to reach out to other agents in other parts of the country, and they're secret agents. I can't find their phone numbers. I can't find their websites. I can't find their emails. So simple things like that helps you get your exposure. Now, I'm with Keller Williams. I'm not sure how many of you are with Keller Williams or other brokerages, but if you're not with Keller Williams, I'm sure you probably have a very similar type of platform within your offices. This is a copy of what my bio looks like in Command. And I've had agents find me through this, and they have said to me, I looked to see who was in Charleston, and you were the only agent who had your complete bio like this. So if you're not with Keller Williams and you have something similar to this, make sure you have all of this information readily available for other agents around the country who are trying to find you. If you are with Keller Williams and you haven't done this yet in Command, please do, because
that Realtor.com, Zillow, all those have bios.
Exactly.
I pull up as well, and you need to make sure that bio serves obviously buyer and seller consumers, but there needs to be a section in there that obviously you're advocating for agent referrals too. So I love that.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful because, again, you don't want to be a secret agent. You want people to learn about you and find you.
Yeah.
This here is a copy of my personal page. You'll see where it says relocation certified realtor, Keller Williams, Charleston, South Carolina. Shows my background, and if you hit on about, you'd see my phone number. It doesn't pull it up on this photo, but if you clicked on about, all of my contact information is in there. So if you haven't done this on your personal page, make sure you have it done as well. Even on your Instagram. Now, I don't have a slide of it here, but I just happen to think of it now. My Instagram account is focused around business for the most part. So I've got everything, all of my contact information on there too.
So I think that's a good point, is make sure you go back, even your personal or your business pages, and give it a little facelift to make sure that it has to be quick. I mean, we're all moving really fast. So if it doesn't have your phone number and email, they might just move on, right? So.
Exactly. So when I started, I've been with Keller Williams for 9 years now. And again, I've been in this market for 11 years. When I started with Keller Williams, I joined a team, but I quickly left it to go solo because I started networking right away. And by networking, I mean any type of local events. If you have any BNI groups in your local market, join those groups. If you're a national brokerage and you have these national events like family reunion, definitely go to that. I've talked to agents in my office who said, oh, that's a waste of time. People just want to party. No, you totally missed the real reason behind going to these events and that's to meet other agents from around the country, develop those relationships, get their contact information, and then stay in touch with them afterwards. So that's the biggest thing. So whether it's a National Association of Realtor event, and there's a couple other national non-brokerage events out there.
I mean, there's Inman, there's national events. There's even also, Inman's a good one. And then I also think just any other type of coaching. I mean, there's Buffini, there's Tom Ferry, there's Mike Ferry, there's all Tony Robbins. There's always agents trying to, get better in different markets. So yeah. So you meet them at like a family reunion and you get their contact information. Do you go into like, what does your process look like to when you're actually?
So I actually have a copy of what I brought to the last family reunion. Hopefully you can see it. It's a Charleston Chews candy. And here's a little tagline. Yeah.
So you kind of like bring pop by. So you create those ahead of time so you can hand those out. That's what.
Yeah.
How many do you bring with you?
I bring about 100, and then I also have special kinds of cards that have my QR code, so they can just scan. And instead of a typical business card, it just says, "I'm your referral partner for Charleston. These are the markets I handle, and here's a QR code if you want to scan the information into your phone." So that way, if I run out of these, at least I've got those for backup.
So I think that's a huge part of networking. You're not handing out normal business cards. You're specifically targeting like a farm or anything, networking. You're networking with that group of people. I think that's huge.
Exactly. So if you go to one of these national events, family reunion or whatever, one of the biggest things you do not want to do is sit with people from your own office. You want to go find a seat in the middle of the auditorium where there's really nobody around yet, plop yourself down, and then people are going to join around you. So you have the opportunity to meet multiple people from multiple states right in that area.
Have you always been like that? Have you always done that?
I've always been like that. And it's actually turned into whenever we have a prep meeting at our office for these types of events, my team leader will always say, well, Desiree, we know how you work it, do what Desiree does. And we'll have our happy hour for the office, but go out and meet people.
Basically, we're not going to see you again until the end. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Desiree, when you have your QR code, where does it send people?
That's a good question.
It sends them to the command website within Keller Williams. So
Okay.
you can do it if you're not with Keller Williams, you can do it within.
So do you
Or
have some-
you could send it to your Facebook page. You could, I mean, a
Yeah.
QR code, of course, you could point to anything.
Yeah.
but
Right. I
Exactly.
didn't know if she had a particular page, like
Yeah, do you
within
have
your,
a website page, a tab for agents on there, or it just goes inside?
I
your
know, it just goes right to command for
Okay, gotcha.
agent.
Is that like a lead capture though, like in command? Like, is it a landing page that's capturing their info?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely think you would want to capture their info, which I think is, yeah, okay, good,
so we could set up a landing page and
for
it
anything.
would just, for anything, and it would just send them to our, just set up a page for contact information and referral information, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
when you do something like this for an event, you know, try to be a little creative, because that's what gets the conversation going, instead of just walking up to people and giving your business cards. You know, this is how you start the conversation.
I mean, Charleston shoes, that's genius, first of all. But like, yeah, I think depending on what market you're in, you need to be, it's kind of needs to be hokey or like, or specific to your area. So like, hey, this is, I don't know, a Georgia peach, you do something with Georgia, you know, with peaches, whatever it is. But it needs to connect with, obviously, you're trying to get them to remember you, but you're also trying to get them to remember your region or your area, right? It's like
Exactly.
two things you're trying to
Yep.
do.
Yep.
I love that. I think that's a great tip to, number one, I think we get, the reason why I asked if you've always done that is I personally, I'm an introverted extrovert. So I like to be with my people, because I don't like, I don't know, I have a challenging with networking. So like you saying, oh, I go to family reunion and I don't sit with my people, I would be like, oh, like that makes me nervous. Like, I don't know if I can do that.
I was like that in the very beginning too. I totally
Okay.
understand
I
what you're
wondered if-
saying, and you have to kind of push yourself. If your goal is to meet people and network, because I'm the same exact way. I'm an introverted extrovert. There's, you know, after a day of networking, I just go back to the hotel room and decompress, because
yeah,
you
you're
know.
just exhausted, because I'm not naturally that extroverted. So that's why I asked that question, is because I like my people. I like my brokerage or the people I'm hanging out with. So in a way, I'm like, oh, this is fun. I love hanging out with my fellow realtors. And then I think you got to switch into business mode, which is I'm actually here to network, to find new referral sources. So,
Right.
so I think that's a mindset shift, and it has to be a conscious decision,
Mhm.
or we all will just hang out with our buddies. So
Yeah. And so, you know, giving out these things, I also collect the cards, and when you come back from a conference, you don't want to just forget about all those cards you just collected. So we have a system that we've put into place.
okay.
One, it's a spreadsheet with all of their contact information, and I immediately send them out cards. Being here in Charleston, we have this historic foundation that has these really cool note cards of all the historic buildings in downtown Charleston. So I'll take those note cards and send a personal note saying, hey, it was great meeting you at family reunion, mega camp, or wherever. Would love to do some business with you in the future. Please keep me in mind, and send them another card, business card along with that card. So again, if they happen to lose my business card while at the convention,
happens,
which does
yeah.
happen.
Well, I also love that it's not like KW or brokerage stationary. You were specific to choose
Charleston.
Charleston. Like, I think that's the thing is I'm not that forward thinking, but I would have just sent a regular, my regular handwritten card, but you're specifically trying to brand that city that you live in.
Yes,
I think
my whole thought process is to brand the city, because they will instantly think of me when they have a client or a friend or whoever says, hey, I'm looking to move to Charleston. Who can you recommend? So if I'm constantly branding myself as your Charleston realtor, which is my hashtag for my Instagram page too.
Yeah, everything you do is like entrenched in agent referrals. I mean, I follow you on Instagram and Facebook. You do a great job. One thing I did, Dawn reminded me, is you were gonna probably talk to us a little bit about like, what's your intro script? Like, so you're sitting by yourself or sitting in a neutral space at like a convention and you have your Charleston shoes. How do you ice break that? How do you do that if those of this are the more introverted people?
I just, just very basic. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Desiree from Charleston. Where are you from? And that starts the conversation.
Yeah, so you basically lead your name and your city like instantly like that.
Yeah.
Those two are the connection pieces right at the beginning.
And I always look at the name tags too. I happen to sit by someone from Connecticut at this last one, and I'm originally from Connecticut. So I saw his name tag. I'm like, hey, how are you? I'm Desiree from Charleston. I'm originally from Connecticut. Where are you from? And that started the whole conversation. And he's like, oh, wow, I've got a lot of people moving to the South. I'll definitely keep your name. So
yeah, that's good. And I think people mirror and match you. So if you're like your name, your city, they're going to say their name, their city. Like it's human nature somewhat.
Yeah.
So that's great. Awesome. So you do those handwritten notes with the Charleston thing, basically stationery, which I love. And then you have a spreadsheet that kind of, so what do you do with that spreadsheet? You upload it into your CRM or what?
Yeah. Yep. So it's uploaded into our CRM, and the information has their mailing address, their birth dates, their email address, and their phone numbers. And
how do you get their birthdays? You stalk them on Facebook or you ask them?
So if I can't get them off of Facebook, my EA sends a Google form doc out to them.
I love a Google form. You know I do.
Yeah.
So your executive assistant does that. So that's that initial system is you do the handwritten note, your EA sends a, hey, great to meet you. Here's a Google form. Please fill it out for us.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. So, and everybody is, very willing to fill out the information. The one challenge per se that we have had is when people move to other brokerages and you're not aware of that, and we happen to send out a birthday card and it comes back saying undeliverable.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of
that's a good point, because that's people hop brokerages and you're sending it most likely to their office mailing address.
Yeah, we've asked them to, what's your best mailing address? Hopefully, like when other agents ask me for what's my best mailing address, I always give them my home address. But a lot of agents obviously don't like to do that. So
right.
And we just have to kind of stay on top of that.
Yeah. That's a good point. So I think from a systematic standpoint, that might be something, quarterly or yearly, like, hey, is this still the right brokerage address? Because people do hop around. I do think that's a good point. And then you talked about networking with the little Popeyes. I love that. So, and then are you going to talk about more about your Facebook? Yeah.
Well, actually, so I'll go through
the list. Yeah.
The list. So my biggest thing with e-newsletters is I personally hate getting those generic emails from other agents that say, this is my listing, or this is, the listings in my area right now. And it's the emails.
Delete like 10 or 20 of those every morning.
Yeah, the emails geared towards buyers or sellers. They're not geared towards referral partners. So that has been my big focus with my newsletters is to make it super personalized about Charleston and about me, and offering tidbits. So for instance, in March, we did a shredding event to benefit a local nonprofit here. And afterwards, my EA put together the event book and emailed it out to our whole agent database saying, if you're thinking about doing a shredding event, here's my event book to help you plan for your next event. So
I
offering,
love that. So you're giving like little training tips or like checklists on, hey, I did this shred event. Maybe you could do one in your local market too. I love the
Yeah.
twist on that.
yeah, so we've done that, offering just something that kind of like what we offer our buyers and sellers to
Yeah.
use us. We're, you know,
It's like the buying
something
process,
of
but it's like,
value.
yeah, but it's the agent process. Like, hey, this is if you were going to do this event, this is the system and process we use. I love that.
Right. So that's one thing I always incorporate into the newsletters. Another thing we do is feature a different part of Charleston, because again, what I want agents to remember is when they have somebody say to them, hey, I'm looking for an agent in Charleston, who can you recommend? Oh, wow, yeah, Desiree has been sending me out information about Charleston, and they'll think of me. So whether, you know, it's about one of our local tourist places that, you know, everybody, for instance, I just recently did a video that was sent out to everybody. If anybody watches Outer Banks, that is all filmed here. And so we went to Shem Creek where most of it is filmed, and I did a video on that and sent it out to all of my agent partners and said, you know, if you're thinking of coming for a visit, let me know. I'm happy to show you around. Or if you know of anyone looking to move to the area, let me know, and I'm more than happy to help them.
I love that.
So that was another twist that we do in the e-newsletters. So again, it's just something quick and easy to grab their attention, so that when they see me email the next time, they'll open it up instead of deleting
Just
it.
deleting like I do. So is your e-newsletter, it's got 2 or 3 parts to it. So it's kind of like a one pager, and it's emailed through your command platform, or do you use a different software for that?
We're trying to do it through command now. We've had a little bit of some technical issues. So right as of now, we're doing it through MailChimp.
Mhm.
You know, but
No, that's perfect. Yeah, MailChimp, I use Constant Contact. So you're using a email system, and it's got like those 2 or 3 parts to it, and you do that every month, or you do that quarterly? How often do you do an newsletter?
we do it every other month. So we'll do, we switch off doing a snail mail and an e-newsletter.
Perfect. So
So,
you do 6 times a year email and 6 times a year postcards.
yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. So postcards, I've got an example. I think it was on the next slide. If you
Okay,
want.
perfect. Let me slide that. Yeah, perfect.
So we just sent this postcard out a couple of weeks ago, because I didn't know it until my EA brought it up, but May 17th is Realtor Appreciation Day.
Oh, look
So
at that. That's cute. Okay.
yeah, so we sent this postcard out to everybody, all the agents in our database, you know, saying we appreciate you.
I
So
love
just
that.
something simple like that. And also,
How many people do you send? I mean, because you've been doing this a while, like your agent database has got to be pretty substantial, yes? Or like,
yeah, we've got over 200 agents around the country
okay.
in the database.
So that's a good perspective for the amount of agent referral partners you have. You know, you're doing over 50 units a year. Of course, some are just regular database referrals, but so that's would you say that's a good recommendation of, like, if you're trying to build a good percentage of business from agent referrals, you should have like that roughly 200 agent referral network? You think that's the magic number, or do you want to grow that bigger? Like, of course you want to grow bigger. Like,
I always want to grow bigger.
yeah, but do you think 200 has given you at least a quality that you can control more?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. For sure. Yeah. Another postcard. Sorry.
Oh, Linda.
Ask you a real quick question on that. 200 agents, you obviously have met more than 200 agents. Do you,
Yeah.
ABC them and just kind of send out the A's, or, I mean,
Yeah, your
obviously
quality.
there's people you aren't going to follow up with.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a great question. No, I mean, obviously there's some agents that I've done multiple referrals with that are in a different group that I'll do something else for. But as far as something like this, that goes out to everybody. So.
Yeah, they're not handwritten notes, so it's not like you're taking hours to do this part.
Right.
It's just print and stamp and keep on moving kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the agents that I've done referrals with, if they're doing a referral that I sent them at closing, even though I'm getting a referral check, I'll send them a little gift from Charleston saying, thank you for taking such great care of my clients.
Yeah, so I guess the people that actually physically give you referrals, you love on them a little bit more than a postcard like this. You're giving them that Charleston gift. What is the gift? What do you usually say?
There's a gourmet chocolate company here in town that their chocolates are amazing. And they've got Charleston branded
bars, like chocolate bars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. So it's not like, hundreds of dollars. It's just that, again, that thought that counts, that stands out.
Something simple. I've had agents send me cute little things too for helping their referrals. One was from Rhode Island, one was from Boston. So they were, thinking the same thing, just a little something to say thank you.
And again, it's local to the city they live in. So again, it's that compound interest where you just, that mind share you're constantly thinking of. I think that's great.
Right.
That's awesome.
Another postcard that I do send out to the agents is, as soon as I do get a referral, I'll send a postcard out saying, thank you so much for the opportunity of helping your clients. I look forward to working with them.
I'm gonna ask, what if they send you a referral and it's not a great referral? Like, how do you respond to that? How do you navigate that? Because, not every lead is a qualified lead, right? So I send you a referral, this person maybe can't buy a house or is not in a position to sell yet. How do you respond to me with that?
Just being totally honest, for instance, I just had a referral for a gentleman who was looking for land to park his RV on, and it's not allowed here. So, once I talked to him and got all the details, I just went back to the agent and said, hey, unfortunately, this isn't gonna work here, what he wants to do. If he's willing to buy just land to build something on or whatever, I'm more than happy to help. But right now it looks like there's nothing he's going to be able to do. So you just have to go back. One of the biggest things that I try super hard to be diligent on is communication. Letting the agents know throughout the whole process what's going on. They're under contract, yay. We just finished all of our contingencies, yay. We're going to close next week, yay. So I try to keep them in the loop as much as possible, because I've
Are those like templated emails that you just, or do you hand draft an email every time? Like, is it something that you're like, your EA does for you now?
It's more so a text, because once I get a referral, I put that agent's phone number in my phone. So I'll just shoot them a text saying, hey,
congratulations, the Smith family, we're now under contract for the house with them or something.
Yeah. Because I know that it's one of the things I hate is not knowing what's going on. Because I like to keep in touch.
Well,
with
I love that.
too.
I think it seems foundational or basic, but like, number one, if the referral doesn't work out, I want to know, and what can I do better next time? And then the second thing is that I want to know if my client's taken care of, if you're doing your job. Ultimately, is it going further down the transaction pipeline, so I know commission's coming? So I think that you say communication it's not always something that we see from agent to agent, which is interesting. You treat it like a buyer and a seller. Imagine that. So yeah, that's a good job.
Just so we can know for sure whether it closed, and if it closed, I can reach out to my client. Hey, I heard you closed today on your house. Congratulations.
Right.
So it's just another touch to them as well.
Yeah, no, I love that so much. Good. I'm going to slide to the next slide. Are you still anything else?
Go back a second, make sure we didn't forget anything. If you go up.
You want to go back up? E-newsletters, post, and birthdays. What do you just grab birthdays? How do you celebrate agent birthdays?
So birthdays, I send them out birthday cards with a handwritten note.
Wow, you do that in addition to your e-letter. Wow, okay. So it's not just a Facebook happy birthday. You actually do physical cards.
Yeah. So my EA's got a great system in place. She'll have all the cards, whether it's for past clients or agents.
Ready for you.
She'll address all the envelopes for me, put them on my desk. She's got a file folder all set up for each week. And each week I just go in, write a personal note, sign it, and put it in the mail. So
I love that.
And honestly, you can get them at the dollar store for 50 cents a piece. So it's
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, but so I think the system there is that obviously you have to collect the information, and then every month, like it's June 1st tomorrow. So you're literally going to have all of June's birthday cards done in each folder for each week, right? So,
Yeah.
and if you don't have an EA, you can do that yourself. I mean, did you do
Yeah.
that before you had an EA yourself, or
I
your
did.
EA
Yeah. I
Yeah.
time blocked it in my calendar to remind me that, okay, I got to sit down and go through all the cards for the month of May.
Right. Yeah, no, I think so. It's, you have a system built into that, and then of course the EA now helps you. But if you're a solo agent with no EA, what I hear is no excuse, you can do it. So
I was, before I got my EA last year, I was doing it all myself.
I know, I was like, you're doing 50 units by yourself, no team, and I only had an EA just started last year. So that's a whole nother training that I need to talk about. But
Yeah.
awesome. So that's what birthdays are, is literally a handwritten note to the people that you have mailing addresses for, including your
Yep.
clients. See, awesome.
Yeah. So as far as Facebook, one, connect with, if there's particular markets that you want to
I
focus
want
on.
to pull up your Facebook, actually. Keep talking, but I'm going to pull up your Facebook.
Yeah.
Because
So
I think it just shows a good example of, number one, the blue envelope, but number two, it actually, it shows that you are very entrenched in your city. Like, this is your personal one. But you constantly are doing, pictures about how beautiful the city is, different things you're doing. Obviously, you're a breast cancer survivor, so you're doing different races, different fun stuff. I mean, look at that. That is just stupid pretty. I mean, little things like that. So
I love where you
this is
live.
the blue envelope that I freaking love. You do these constantly. Like, I was looking
Yeah.
literally through your photos, there's hundreds. I mean, you've been doing this blue envelope thing. So can you
Yep.
explain that, or do you have it further in your presentation? So like,
Sure. So every closing, I will send out, typically when you do a referral with an agent, your office will send out the check directly. I don't let my office do that.
All right.
When
So you are in charge of that check, essentially.
Yeah. So they let me know when the check's ready to pick up, and I have a dedicated stationery that has thank you, and it's a Charleston scene, and it has my contact information on the bottom, and I write a personal note to that agent saying thank you for the opportunity to let me help your clients move to the area or sell their home or whatever. And I thoroughly enjoyed working with them. Share, if there's something fun to share with them, I put it in the note too. And then if you have anybody else looking to buy or sell in the Charleston area, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help out. And so I'll send that check with the letter and my referral.
Is your favorite color blue? Is that why you chose blue?
Yeah.
Because I think everyone no one that I've found, because I've seen the green envelope, like I know Beth Pretty here locally, which a lot of people know her here. She's a purple envelope. So you guys, you choose a color. It's not a white envelope, and you also have fun stamps.
Want it to stand out, and when the check's ready to go out, I'll text the agent saying, "Hey, your check's going in the mail today. Watch out for a blue envelope addressed to you."
Oh, I love that. So you're real. I mean, everything you're doing is strategic. There's no like, oh, this just randomly is in a blue envelope. It's on purpose. And I love that you are connecting it through social media. You could have just secretly mailed them this check and the agent would have been happy. But every time I see your little hashtag, I mean, I literally see it all the time. So I think that's smart.
And I have a sticker too that goes not only on these envelopes, but any envelope, business envelope I send out. It says, I'm never too busy for your referrals.
Right. Yeah. So many posts that are just really good, a good job. And you're just like, take the picture, move on. Like, it's not like you're worried about,
Yeah. And another thing I do too, and this is all marketing stuff.
in the back. I see it.
Well, and the stamps too. I always don't use just a flag stamp. I always put colorful stamps on the envelopes. It stands out. So when people are like, oh, what was in that blue envelope you got?
Yeah, no, I love that. And I also, in the back of every time you take a picture of them, there's usually Charleston in it. Like, this is the one I put for you. Like, you always are, Charleston's in your background. Like, it's almost like wallpaper on the back of your
Yeah, I try to do it either in my office with.
Yeah, you do a good job with and I just love how you're really showing the city and showing your travel. Like, I think it's just shows your personality. Like, I connect with a lot of different.
If you want to,
posts.
if you want to stop right there, this was
yeah. This was one that we were talking about before. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is another way I network with agents, going to different market centers around the country, and we do masterminding and teaching and so forth. So it's been another.
Do you do that once a month, once a year? How often do you travel to other offices to network with other agents?
So before COVID, we were doing it a couple times a year.
Okay.
Obviously, COVID changed all of that, and we got back into doing it. So
each person like says, hey, I'm going to host it. I'm in Florida or I'm in Texas or whatever. And then you all fly out or drive out and you actually network at their office.
Yeah. And I do the same exact things that I would do at a family reunion. I bring these or whatever tchotchke thing I've got to give away, and hand them out to all the agents in the office and meet their brokers and so forth. So it's another way of networking.
Yeah, because all these people are from different offices, right? Or are they from the same one?
Yeah, in this particular group right here, we've got Las Vegas, Phoenix, Richmond, Raleigh, Cleveland, Philadelphia, Virginia Beach. So,
So you created like your own BNI group for realtors. That's essentially what it is. If you think about networking at the max level, you're taking once or twice a year, getting them, you're going to one of their cities so you can show up. And I'm assuming you guys go to either lunch or you're showing off, they're probably showing off their city a little bit when you're there.
You always tour around. When everybody came to Charleston, I partnered with my lenders. My lenders helped sponsor the cost of the events, but we had one of the best restaurants cater a dinner at my house. And then we took a horse carriage ride through the.
You treat it just like a client event. You have sponsors, these people are flying or driving in, so you're going to make an experience for them.
Yeah.
And the people that come to this mastermind, do they have to have given you a referral, or you're just saying, come one, come all, who cares?
So with the agents that do the presentations, it's been all part of our mastermind group, but we invite all the brokerages. For instance, we had some agent when we did it in Charleston, we had agents coming in as far as Georgia to it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
And so, not to go too far into that, but like, do you guys give different, 15, 20-minute presentations? So it's like.
It changes each time. Yeah.
Each time. Yeah. But you're all like sharing ideas and talking about your markets and talking about how you're navigating what the heck's going on in this crazy market, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Well, good. I just thought when we were talking about Facebook, I thought your Facebook page is a good exact example of what you were saying before. Like, it's literally part of a system. It probably seems very organic and natural, but when I see it from a coach standpoint, I'm like, what she's doing on Facebook is not, it is authentic, but it is strategic, right?
It's all, I have a marketing background, so it's all strategic marketing for me. People have gotten to know me as the restaurant foodie here because we're constantly posting
I see that. I was scrolling through, like, you're
Photos
constantly,
of
and
different
but you're
restaurants
not just
here.
going to dinner, you're like posting it too, so
Well,
people.
I've even had agents say, hey, I'm coming to Charleston for a visit. Which restaurant can you recommend? Because they constantly see me do that on Facebook.
Right.
Facebook for realtors is pretty strong. A lot of I know a lot of people my generation like poo-pooing Facebook, but hey,
Well, but I do think it's a lot of realtors are heavy buy sell Facebook posts, but yours are I love my city. I
yeah,
love my agent. Like yours feels different than a lot of agents. So I would say I do see buyer seller generated Facebook and Instagram stuff is getting boring. It's getting I'm so sick of seeing that I
yeah.
just sold a house
I
today kind of
honestly
post.
don't post anything on my personal Facebook page unless there's some special meaning to it. Like for instance, I just listed one of my teammates. I race dragon boating for a breast cancer team, and I just listed one of my
Which is insane. I don't even know how you do that. Like
one of my teammates' houses. So I put that on my personal page just because it was,
yeah, because it is personally connected to you.
yeah.
I think that.
So I normally don't post any. That's what my business page is for. I do 80% business on my business page and 20% personal so that they can see my personal side. And on my personal page, I'll do 80% personal and less than 20% business.
That's a good.
Because I don't want to bore my friends who could care less.
Right.
About homes for sale. They'd rather see pretty pictures of the ocean and stuff.
Could we pause? Is there anybody that had questions maybe on any of this so far? Is anybody e-newsletters, any questions, clarity, postcards, birthdays, Facebook, Popeyes? Anybody have any questions for Desiree about any of these? I just you explained it very well, but I just wanted to make sure that before we got too further, I just love that it truly is a system. Like everything is, I do this every other month. I do this every other month. I do all birthdays every single month. And Facebook is strategic. Popeyes I bring with like, none of this stuff is, randomly on a Tuesday. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And then 2 weeks later, I forget. Like you definitely have a system in place to do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention about Facebook too is if you're not already aware of it, there are a whole huge amount of realtor Facebook pages that are meant mostly for referrals. So whether it's within your own brokerage or NAR or
So how do we find them? Do you Google, like, how do we
Google, just in Facebook, type in realtor referral.
like literally up here?
Yep. Realtor Referral Networks one.
And so like you literally, I mean,
Join
how
all
many, you joined all of them, like even if you
join
know,
all the groups, yeah. My
so
husband
you don't
will
even
actually-
care. Yeah.
Yeah, my husband will actually laugh at me. He's like, okay, well, let me guess, another referral on Facebook. Cause I'm constantly.
I see you constantly, like, I think when was yesterday even, or maybe it was yesterday or the day before, it was, I can't remember what city it was in, Florida or something. And you're like, you tagged the agent. It was like, this agent's great in that area. Like,
Yeah, probably
no.
my Fort Myers agent who
Yes, that's what it was.
they're closing on a house there Friday. So
So you literally, somebody was like, I need somebody in Florida. And then you tagged, I think his name is Matt or something. I don't remember. Like, how do you, like, so you're on your phone, like, you're not making money on that tag. Like you're connecting him with another person. So you're not making any financial gain with that. You're just building, but so you join all those groups and you're constantly like looking for, do you just keep that in your brain? I don't even remember what I wore yesterday, let alone what the heck someone's name and what city
it does take some time to do it, but if you've got a free 10 minutes, scroll through those groups and see if your town came up, and if it did, reach out to that agent right away.
So you message them immediately and was like, and just say, hey, I saw you posted on the Facebook. Like, what is your text message to that person?
I've got a little script all ready to go that
So
I'll
you have a
send.
pre-done, wow, look at that, a system for that too. Amazing. So you literally have a pre-done little script that say, hey, I saw that you're looking for a referral in Charleston, I blah, blah, blah. And
You know, give
does
them
it say,
that elevator speech in
do you
text.
have like a little 30-second elevator? Good. So you've got that pre-done and you just copy and paste that into the little, okay, good. I would love to see that little elevator speech, by the way. I think that would be
Yeah.
helpful.
Share with you.
All right, so do we cover this good? I'm not doing great at Vanna White here, but I'm trying my-
You're doing great. I think we've
that's a lot. But it's systematically,
it's a lot to do, but once you set that system in place, it's not hard without an EA. It's not hard to keep up with it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time blocking and set a certain amount of time either per week or per month to do these. And again,
and it's scalable. Like you started, you didn't have 200 agents in your network. You probably had 10, and then you sent 4 birthday cards out. Now it's 10 birthday cards. It scales over the years. You've been doing this for a long time now. So you do the same 3, 5 things, but you're doing the same 5 things every month for the last 10 years. I mean,
right.
It's just like anything. So that's great. All right.
Yep.
So we covered this. Love those postcards. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I do know about this one. The Buffini one I've read.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring these books. I've read each of these books multiple times. They're great refreshers on how to develop the systems to not only work with agent referrals, but also your sphere referrals. Perk Your Sphere by Liz, who's a Keller Williams agent out in Seattle.
I need to take a picture. Well, I have PowerPoint.
I have followed that system for my past client referrals and it works. I'm always on top of mind with my past clients because I believe in, I'm not a transactional agent, I'm a relationship agent. So I firmly believe that I'm your realtor for life. And with the suggestions in that book, I was able to put a really good system in place to keep in touch with my clients, my past clients, and do fun things every couple of months. Like we have giveaways and quarterly events and so forth. So,
but I feel like just by your description of your agent partners, it seems like their systems are similar. I mean, you're enhancing it.
Very, very similar.
But It sounds like, you probably do the e-letter. You
Okay.
do
No, you.
Oh. Similar things.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. So I would think you're doing similar things even with your agent partners as well as your referral partners. I mean, your past clients, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's a very similar systems that you can easily integrate to fit other.
No, I love that. All right. So I have only read this one. I need to pick up. There you go. Amazon myself on those. That's great. So I guess the thing is why I had a couple questions and then you can final thoughts of questions because that's everything we had on our presentation. Why do you think agents don't spend as much time on building out their agent referral network? Instead, they're building out their sphere of influence, which I understand, or they're building out, their social media. What do you think the biggest hang up or why you think agents don't focus on agent to agent referrals? Because I feel like that you've shown us it's kind of a no-brainer. We should do it, but I'm guilty of not building that either. So what do you think is our hang up? What do you think, if you can get it inside our head, what do you think the reason why we don't do it?
I don't know. I mean, obviously not everything is for everyone. Like cold calling is great for some agents and not, I hate cold calling. So
I hate it too.
For me. Some people are amazing stars in social media and they're killing it and getting business that way. Other people just don't know what to do to get it. So I think it really depends on what the individual person. It's worked. It's been great for me. It's definitely my my business, it's my business plan. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can tell just, I mean, I didn't literally haven't physically met you, but I can tell by just all the systems you have in place that it's a relationship. So you love your agent partners just as much as you love your past clients. So
yeah, they say, you know, that the catchword in the last couple of years has been tribe, and
I love that book.
Form your tribe, and you are what the five
What you attract. Yeah.
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 So if you surround yourself with other successful agents, you know, you're going to learn a lot.
Yeah.
And your business is going to benefit from it. So developing those agent relationships around the country. I mean, every time I go to an event, it's always the same group of people. So it's great to see those people every year. And just the memories that are formed just alone, not business wise, but just in life.
Yeah.
To see.
Well, one thing I just remembered, you had said when we were chatting earlier, like even when you travel, so if you're in like on personal vacation, you're in Florida and you're on vacation with your spouse, partner, whatever, but you're like, I have to go visit an office, a real estate office. Like, is that a part of your system as well? Like,
oh yeah, yep.
That wasn't in a slide, but I remember that just everywhere you go, you stop at a KW office or a whatever office and say, hey, I'm on vacation and here I am.
Yeah, I always bring something with me. And it's funny, on the last trip, which was in London, GPS was not liking real estate offices because it kept sending me to different spots that ended up being some other business. So I did not make it to a real estate office in the last trip, but I made the effort.
But you Google, so you bring like your Charleston shoe, like your little thing with you, bring some even on vacation. You bring those with you.
Yeah.
And then you Google local real estate office near me kind of thing.
Yep.
I think that's great. Yeah, Don, go ahead.
So on your Facebook page, you are accepting a lot of other realtors then as friends on your Facebook page? Yep. Okay, because I tend not to do that. I tend to keep that all my sphere, and I don't really engage. So that's an interesting take on that. Because sometimes it can become inundated with a bunch of realtor talk and realtor jokes and realtor. So you know what I'm saying? How the conversation to fill the feed, and I feel like that leaves out a lot of my sphere.
I think it's all on the analytics of how Facebook works, because it's only going to pop up where you engage most. So there's going to be a lot of people. I've got almost 3,000 friends.
All that,
quote unquote friends, but I don't see half of their feeds because I don't engage with them as frequently
at that level.
Other people. So you're only going to, the analytics of how it works,
right?
It's like 10%. It's kind of crazy. I'm at like 5,000 and I see.
So if it's local agents reaching out to me, that's a different story.
Sure.
Because my purpose is to connect with agents around the country.
So you don't like, if I'm in your market and I'm an agent, you won't necessarily add me as your friend first. You would add somebody from Florida or Texas before me, right?
Yeah.
That's where I was going with it, because that's what I tend to do too. I'll connect with other realtors around the country, but not in my immediate market. Do you also have an equal amount of business going out to referrals? So I'm wondering what kind of passive income you're getting from your connections.
That's actually just been getting stronger for me this past year. I've done it, sporadically over the years, but this year I've definitely seen a much higher return, and it's probably.
And Donna's KW, and she's in Northern Virginia, like Fredericksburg. So also, by the way, you need an agent referral.
Desiree and I we talked one-on-one a long time ago, and that's what got me going on some of the stuff that I was doing.
Yeah. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. What were we just talking about?
The referrals going out.
Going out. Yeah.
Referrals going out. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it's just because of where we live. A lot of people don't leave Charleston. It's more people coming into Charleston. The only time
That's the tagline, you come here and you die.
yeah. So, the majority of my outgoing people are military, getting their PCS orders to other
Yeah,
bases.
because you have a military designation, like you
Oh,
focus, you have a pretty
So-
high percentage. Of focus on-
So I had a high number of military people leaving this year. I am trying to get better. Obviously, we all try to improve our businesses every day. And I think probably my biggest improvement that I want to do is to get like family members and friends from other parts of the country to say, hey, I need a realtor. I got to reach out to Desiree, see if she has any recommendations.
Yeah,
So
Right.
that's something I want to improve on.
that's cool.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
did a campaign the same way with, I started to do destination kind of drip campaigns in Command, and sent them out to just random realtors that I have in my database with the destination stuff, right? Like if you're looking for gated lake communities in Fredericksburg, or if you're looking for affordable living between DC and Richmond, kind of stuff. I started sending those out, and that seems to be getting some interest. So that was kind of new for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. Well, this is good. This is a lot of good information. What I'll do is if it's okay, I'm gonna send this PowerPoint to everybody on the call. And then there's a number of people that are like, hey, I can't come today, but I recorded this, so I'll send it out as well. And then what I'd like to do, Desiree, is I'm gonna email you everybody that registered for this call so you can add them to your database.
Cool.
Because we want you to have more referrals. You did this for your time and complimentary with a donation to Breast Cancer Foundation. So that's important cause. But we also want to keep building we want to be part of your 200. We want to be in your fan club. So we want to be able to email you everyone information, and you can reach out to them and get their birthdays and build them into your system for us. So any other last questions of anybody who's on the call before we hop off? I know it's the first day back after holiday. We're all running around crazy. Annie, get unmuted.
I did. What is Command?
Command is KW's CRM.
It's our platform, our CRM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And I just might have missed it, but Desiree, did you quantify the amount of either transactions or volume that you've gotten from referral annually?
I can say in 2021, I sent out $80,000 in referral fees.
Yeah. Wow. Geez. That's great. And so you sold 51 units at 20 million, and you're every bit of like, is it 50-50 agent referral base? You think your agent referral is higher than your actual sphere of influence right now? What would you,
50-50. Yeah.
so, if you sell 50 houses, 25 at least came from agent referral. So it's great. And I think it's smart. It's interesting. I think it's interesting that you're not on a team with agent referrals, because really what you're doing is you're leveraging that piece of your business like that. So with you not having a team, that I got into the money aspect of it, it's cheaper to pay out a referral than to hire a buyer's agent at 50% split.
Or an ISA or
hire ISA. So it's interesting, like, not that teams are bad, I always get coined for that, but like, it's just interesting. You can be a solo agent for 11 years, do $20 million, have assistant, and then really about 50% of your business is 25 to 30% referral fees are going out the door. But that's still cheaper than if you're doing a 50-50 split on a team or something. So I think mathematically, it's also, why the heck would you not invest in agent referrals? Because it's a cheaper expense. It's a cheaper way to build a scalable business. So that's my little 2 cents on the money part of things. So awesome.
Cool. Well, I
all right. Well,
appreciate
thank you for your time. I know you're busy, and everyone is busy especially after the holiday.
you.
Thank you
And if
guys
I
so
can
much.
Thank you
ever
for
help in
doing this.
Charleston,
This is
or if you ever,
wonderful.
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't know. I think they were talking about a few else. Yeah.
If you
Thank
ever
you
come to
so
Charleston, let me know and I'm happy to show you around.
Yeah, so when someone comes, I mean, are you a tour guide on the regular, like usually have an agent, 1 or 2 a
It's a
month?
very
that, like-
minimum, meet for a drink downtown and, the popular place, so we can.
Yeah,
have
because I
face-to-face.
think Facebook's great, but if you've never met them, once you physically either grab a cup of coffee or drink with them, that is another way to remind them that like you're a real person and I need referrals just like everyone else,
Yep.
So I think that's smart. So awesome. Well, everyone enjoy the rest of their day. Thank you, Desiree, so much. That was
You're
tons of
welcome, my
information.
pleasure.
All right, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. Again, have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.